It's Tim, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Monday, and this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. A handful of news brought to you in one easy-to-watch video. As far as today's show does go, we do have, give me 1 second, going to add another story here. I thought I added this in, but I guess I didn't. Let's add this in. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stories for you today. We're going to talk about all the participants announced for the G1. We're going to talk about Liv Morgan's current injury and her giving some more context on that. WWE has a new deal with Twitch. Claudio almost missed his New Japan debut, and so much more, because again, this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. A handful of news brought to you in one easy-to-watch video. We do the show every Monday and Friday morning right here live on Twitch and YouTube, or you can listen later on YouTube, or watch later on YouTube, actually. Well, you don't have to just watch. You can listen, or listen later on podcast services all around the globe, like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. I do want to say thank you to everybody who does listen on the podcast platforms, because our podcast numbers are going up. They are higher than they've ever been. So, again, excuse me, I do want to say thank you on that front. And also remember, if you want to get your question read live on the air, head over to our mailbag, pwunlimited.co/mailbag, to submit your question. And if it's topical with the news that we're going to read, well, I'll read it live on the air. Best way to make sure your question gets read live on the air, though, is to submit a super chat on YouTube. As far as all of this does go, the first news story that we do have to talk about here does have to do with the G1 Climax 33. We got some interesting names in this tournament. The full list of participants in this year's G1 Climax tournament have been revealed. Two of the biggest superstars, or biggest surprises this year, include the inclusion of AEW star Eddie Kingston and Pro Wrestling Noah star Kato Kiyomiya. I'm going to butcher this last name. Kato Kiyomiya. Kingston has appeared regularly on New Japan Strong events in the United States, and Kiyomiya was involved in a high-profile angle with Okada that led to a match at Keiji Muto's retirement show in February, which Okada did win. Chase Owens and Tanga Loa, both of whom have been out of action, will be returning to the tournament. Although they were shown to represent the LA Dojo during the announcement, Alex Coughlin and Gabriel Kidd both joined the Bullet Club at Dominion, attacking Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto after they won the IWGP Tag Team Championships and the Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. As far as the 32 participants that will be in the G1 this year, that does run from July 15th to August 13th, is followed: Kazuchika Okada, Tetsuya Naito, Sonata, Will Ospreay, Hiroshi Tanahashi, David Finlay, Shota Umino, Shingo Takagi, Tomohiro Ishii, Tama Tonga, which is an interesting one because his contract was said to be up with New Japan and he was a free agent. So he's sticking around with New Japan, at least for the time being. Tanga Loa, Hikuleo, Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, Toru Yano, Kenta, Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, Eddie Kingston, El Phantasmo, Ren Narita, Evil, Chase Owens, Jeff Cobb, Great-O-Khan, Aaron Hanare, Gabriel Kidd, Alex Coughlin, Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols, Yota Tsuji, and Kato Kiyomiya. All 32 men will battle it out in the tournament to become, well, G1 Climax winner. And what does the winner get if you don't remember? He gets a briefcase. The briefcase gets cashed in at not Night of Champions. I don't know why I was thinking WWE. That briefcase gets cashed in at Wrestle Kingdom for an IWGP World title shot. So, very cool. Some interesting names, some new names. I mean, I'm really interested to see Eddie Kingston's performance here, because this is going to be one of the most high-profile things he ever does, in my opinion, or has ever done. Now, speaking of New Japan, this past Saturday night here in America, or Sunday in Japan, was the Dominion show, and it looks like one AEW wrestler who was making his New Japan debut almost missed the show. Current Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli almost missed his tag team match, his 6-man tag team match at Dominion because of some visa and travel issues. New Japan first put up this warning and statement stating, quote, Claudio Castagnoli's travel issues. See a change on the card. Thank you for supporting New Japan Pro Wrestling. Claudio Castagnoli, who is scheduled to join Jon Moxley and Shota Umino to challenge for the never open weight 6-man tag titles at Dominion tonight, has experienced flight delays. And as a result, the match order on this evening's card has changed. The never open weight 6-man tag team championship battle was originally set to be the 7th match of the night, will now be the 8th, the semi-main. The junior heavyweight championship match will now be 7th on the evening. We apologize for any inconvenience or concerns caused and appreciate your understanding. Now, as far as what happened here, according to Dave Meltzer on last night's Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer stated that Claudio was having some visa issues. Then he experienced flight delays. Claudio actually got to the airport and landed when the show was starting. Got in the cab, got sent to the building in Osaka-jo Hall, and basically showed up to the building less than 25 minutes before his match actually started. Claudio cut it very close. Very, very close. Not sure what they would have done if he didn't show up, but hey, he showed up, he got there, he made it, and that's all that counts. But that match was awesome. That match was great. And Claudio was awesome and amazing in it as well. And so to think that they did that match where Claudio didn't have any prep time, where they really didn't have much time to tell Claudio, this is the rundown of the match. This is what we're going to do. These are the ideas we have and so forth. Yeah. Very, very, very crazy, but cool and good all the same time. As we move forward, we've got to talk more stuff coming out of Dominion, and that is Forbidden Door. AEW Cross New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door does come to us on June 25th, I want to say it is. Let me get that date double checked here. Forbidden Door. All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door event comes to us on June 25th, and we may know the first 2 official matches taking place on the card. First off, it looks like Kenny Omega will be defending the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship against, well, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay won a tournament to become the new #1 contender, defeating Lance Archer at Dominion. And all the teases have been that match is taking place at Forbidden Door, so it looks like Ospreay Omega 2 will be taking place at Forbidden Door. But we also learned Kazuchika Okada will be taking on Bryan Danielson. A video played during Dominion with Bryan Danielson basically in the desert, stating that he is challenging the Rainmaker to meet him in the desert where it doesn't rain. I'm like, oh, buddy. Oh, man. Yeah, yes, please. Yes, please. Okada versus Danielson. That match is going to be so good. Interesting it's not Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. Maybe they're saving that match for All In. I don't know. But, you know, Danielson's wanted to face Zack Sabre Jr. for a while. So for him to now be facing Okada at Forbidden Door instead of Sabre Jr. is interesting. But, I mean, I think we'll eventually get the Zack Sabre match with Bryan Danielson. But it looks like these 2 matches are the first 2 official matches. Nothing was really talked about or mentioned last week on Dynamite. There are 1, 2, 3 more episodes of Dynamite to go before the Forbidden Door show. So they really got to start ramping stuff up. They really got to start, you know, going into full Booker mode of, okay, here's what we got, here's what we're doing, here's how we set it up. So that way, we know what's going to happen at this show, I want to say, in Toronto. As we transition from AEW news, we got some WWE news to talk about as well. We know that Liv Morgan is currently out with an injury, and Liv Morgan actually gave some context on said injury, revealing that she's dealing with a torn shoulder. Morgan revealed Sunday during a live stream for Up, Up, Down, Down that her shoulder is actually torn. She commented on playing against Mansoor, or Masay, or Mansoor, whatever you want to call him, in Street Fighter V with one shoulder, as she said the following. I'm sitting at home with my torn shoulder, and I'm like, I'm really excited to win the Up Up Down Down Championship. I'm really excited to beat Massey. And his kid just so happens to have a recital. I would like to see footage of that recital. I'm just saying. So, you sent your friend to face me with one shoulder. I'm still going to beat him. You said I wasn't going to miss this for the world. One shoulder, no shoulder. It doesn't matter. So there we go. Liv Morgan is dealing with a torn shoulder. And as far as recovery for a torn shoulder does go, if it's just they tore it off the rotator cuff, but it's not too bad, and then about 6 weeks of healing time. If it's worse, it could be up to 3 to 6 months if it's completely torn off the bone. So there we go. There we go. Hopefully Liv Morgan is back within the 6 weeks, but you never want them to rush it. And WWE made a big announcement this morning as far as what they're doing with Twitch. And they're doing some interesting things with Twitch as WWE is back on Twitch. WWE issued a statement via press release Monday morning announcing they and Twitch have agreed to a multi-year streaming partnership. WWE stated the following. And I just lost the press release. Give me 1 second to go grab that again. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I missed an AEW story we got to get back to. Okay, so WWE stated the following. WWE today announced a multi-year partnership with Twitch that will see the return of the official WWE channel and popular WWE Superstar channels featuring live and exclusive content. In addition to the launch of the channel, WWE will debut today a companion sidecast to Monday Night Raw, bringing the WWE universe behind the scenes and closer to the in-ring action. The weekly viewer experience will be led by a rotating cast of hosts and will regularly feature appearances by WWE superstars. Unique and exclusive content such as backstage interviews and more. Viewers can stream the sidecast live every Monday beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern via twitch.tv/WWE or the Twitch app. Additionally, the official WWE channel will be home to other live productions and will serve as an alternative live streaming feed for all WWE premium live event press conferences. So there we go. Starting today, WWE will be doing, I guess you could say, a watch along for Monday Night Raw. They didn't give too much context as to what this watch along is going to feature or what they call sidecast is going to feature. Maybe it's something like the Manning cast that ESPN does for Monday Night Football, or it's just like we've seen in the past with the watch alongs. I think it's going to be more the form or the latter, the watch alongs, but we'll see how that goes. And I assume the bump will be on there every Wednesday as well, but I'm interested to see what other, quote, exclusive content they do add to their Twitch channel. But the most exciting thing is, when are we getting people back on Twitch? When's Woods getting back on Twitch? When's AJ Styles getting back on Twitch? When's other people getting back on Twitch? As we move forward, you know what? This AEW story I missed. I'm going to throw it at the very end. There we go. So coming up, we do have WWE Money in the Bank, but then following Money in the Bank, we've got SummerSlam. And we now know one big match reportedly taking place at SummerSlam, and it looks like that's Cody versus Brock 3. The date of Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar 3 has been revealed. With their head-to-head series tied at 1 apiece, the rubber match is currently planned for SummerSlam on Saturday, August 5th, according to Dave Meltzer, who revealed this on Sunday night's Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer stated, "Got big news. Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes is SummerSlam. SummerSlam, Ford Field, match number 3. So there we go. It wasn't 100% really clear when this match was going to take place. Some thought maybe Money in the Bank, but a lot of people did think SummerSlam was the right way to go. And that's the route they're going, according to this new report from Dave Meltzer, that it will be Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes for the 3rd time this year at SummerSlam. But speaking of SummerSlam, Speaking of SummerSlam, we have a little update on SummerSlam ticket sales as well, as this does come from WrestleTix, as they tweeted the following. WWE SummerSlam, Saturday, August 5th, 7:30 p.m., Ford Field, Detroit. Available tickets left, 4,373. Currently set up for 44,604. Tickets distributed, 40,231. Tickets currently on the resale market, 2,893. The WWE themselves have sold 40,000 tickets. There are still 4,000 available if you want to buy straight from WWE, and then there's almost 3,000 available through resale. So yeah, very, very interesting numbers to boot. Finally, a quick hit here in WWE land. Emma and Riddick Moss, well, they're engaged. WWE wrestlers Emma, real name Tennille Dashwood, and Riddick Moss, real name Mike Rallis, are engaged to be married. The couple announced their engagement via an Instagram post from Emma on Saturday. Emma shared photos of Moss proposing to her. So let's pull those up on the screen right here. She stated, "I said yes a million times in my head before you even asked." So there we go. Not sure where they're at, but yeah, he proposed. She said yes. And according to her Instagram post here, basically, she's like, "I wanted to marry this guy for a while." She said a million times before you even asked. So she was just waiting for it to happen. But congratulations to the newlyweds, or not newlyweds, but newly engaged couple. Always glad to see others happy. And the final news story we do have here is an interesting one, taking it back to AEW news regarding Andrade. And I got some comments on this. So Fightful writes the following. Andrade is heading back to AEW, but it hasn't been without some speed bumps. Fightful can confirm that Andrade was at the May 10th AEW Dynamite tapings. Originally, Andrade was set to appear in a segment similar to that of Miro and Thunder Rosa, who walked into Tony Khan's office teasing the impending announcement of Collision. However, we're told that he didn't want to do the segment, and we weren't told why. He was at the May 17th edition of Dynamite and filmed a backstage segment for social media and is expected to compete on the Collision brand as announced. Andrade is nearing an in-ring return and has been working out in the ring ahead of the May 10th Dynamite, but those close to him say that he's insisted he was not physically ready yet. Things have changed as he's confirmed for the show in Mexico coming up, and was in talks for an event in Puerto Rico in June. But we haven't been told if he's planning on wrestling at either of those or just simply making appearances. There were rumors that Andrade got surgery in the fall to be ready for the Collision debut, but we confirmed that Andrade nor the rest of the AEW roster knew about Collision or the potential of it at that point. But in November, he did have a surgery for a torn pec, and it sounds like he's already ready to come back, which means it probably wasn't that bad. But here's the issue I have. I'm going to read this line again. Andrade was at the May 10 AEW Dynamite tapings, and originally, Andrade was set to appear in a segment similar to Miro and Thunder Rosa where they walked into Tony Khan's office. However, we're told he didn't want to do the segment. Now, I read that line and I go, oh boy, Tony, no. Tony, you don't let talent say, I do or don't want to do something. Remember the last time that happened to a wrestling company on TBS and TNT where they were told, hey, you're doing this, and then the wrestlers can just come back and go, nah, I don't want to. Where's that company now? Oh, yeah, they went out of business and sold to WWE. It's okay sometimes to ask the talent for advice. And, hey, here's a segment we have in mind. How would, is there any tweaks or anything you would like to see done to the segment? Maybe you want to do something slightly different, but this is what we're going to. I don't like that a talent can just go to Tony and go, I don't want to do the segment. I'm not doing it. I don't like that at all. Tony's the boss. Tony needs to be like, this is the plan. This is what we're doing. This is what you're doing. Tony can't just let guys just be like, oh, that's what you have for me? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Apparently, that's been the thing with Miro for a long time, is they pitch Miro ideas, and Miro just goes, no. Now, I don't know how true the Miro thing is, but the Andrade thing does seem very legit, because I have heard this before, that Andrade's been told, here's the plan we have for you backstage at an event or a show for AEW, and he's just like, not what I want to do, and then doesn't do it. So, I'm just going to say, Tony Khan, you need to not let talent have so much say, I guess you can say. And if you have something in the script that you want them to do, and they say no, you say, tough noogies, tough shit. I'm your boss. This is what you're doing. I mean, maybe it's not as simple as that, but still. We've seen this happen time and time again in wrestling companies where the wrestlers think they can tell the boss what to do and what they do and don't want to do, and it's just like, yeah, not the best look. But with that, guys, that's all we got for this short episode of the Wrestling Wrap-Up. Remember, tonight is Monday Night Raw. So far, 4 things have been announced for the show. We do have a question here that kind of ties into all of this from the mailbag. Remember, you can submit your questions. pwunlimited.co/mailbag. This question comes from Eric, where he states, who's facing Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank? Now, I don't know about Money in the Bank. Maybe Finn Balor? But I do know tonight. Tonight, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line when Seth Rollins defends, well, against Damian Priest. And this is why I said Finn Balor. Maybe Priest is not successful. Well, shouldn't be successful. He really shouldn't. But Priest, not successful tonight. Doesn't defeat Seth for the belt. But then maybe Finn steps up and goes, I can do it. I can bring the title to the Judgment Day. I'll face you at Money in the Bank in London. And there we go. That's what I think can happen. So we'll have to wait and see. But as of tonight's Monday Night Raw, 4 things, again, have been announced for the show. We do know that the World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line when Seth Rollins defends against Damian Priest. Cody Rhodes will be on a special edition of Miz TV. In women's qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank ladder match, first off, it is Becky Lynch against Sonya Deville. And finally, in another qualifying match, this one will see Natalya taking on Zoe Stark. With that is everything that has been announced for tonight's Monday Night Raw. And with that, we'll be back following Monday Night Raw, running down that entire show, giving you our thoughts on whatever this new companion Twitch show is, whether it's a watch-along or a Manning Cast style show or something. We'll talk about that as well. So we got a number of things to talk about pertaining to tonight's Monday Night Raw. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.